The best monitor for PS5 is the perfect way to complement your new console. The PlayStation 5 is a huge technical leap over every PlayStation that's come before, so it deserves a cutting-edge monitor to match. The downside of the PS5's upgraded video output capabilities is that you'll need to take a bit more care when browsing the best PS5 monitor. At least you will if you want to unlock all PS5's visual capabilities: 4K, 120Hz refresh, variable refresh rate, and HDR. The PS5 does it all. Critical to all of the above is finding a monitor with the right video interface. In this video, we will discuss the top 5 best gaming monitors for PS5 in current market. So let's get started. Number 5. Samsung U32J590. We'd all love a 4K, 120Hz, HDR monitor with a mini LED backlight that cranks out 1000 nits and delivers 1 millisecond pixel response. Back in the real world, such panels barely exist. Anything that comes close costs megabucks. Which is where the Samsung U32J590 comes in handy. For not much more than $300, you get a big, beautiful 32-inch 4K panel with excellent 3000:1 contrast thanks to a quality Samsung VA panel. Of course, VA tech isn't exactly synonymous with speedy pixels. But Samsung is the master of fast VA panels, and this one is rated at a decent 4 milliseconds GTG. Inevitably, the specs are a little limited in other areas. Refresh is pegged at 60 Hz, so there are no 120 Hz thrills. You also don't get HDR support, local dimming, or any of that fancy next-gen backlight technology. Indeed, peak brightness is quoted at 270 nits, which is towards the lower end of what we deem acceptable. But it should be good enough for all but the very brightest environments. As an affordable PS5 monitor and introduction to the PS5's 4K highs, this is a very appealing proposition. We just steer clear if sports and online shooters are your main gaming aim. Number 4. ViewSonic VX2768-PC-MHD. The 27-inch panel sports a tight 1500 arc curve for that immersive, wraparound feel and is based on VA technology. The implications of VA tech include outstanding static contrast of 3000:1, plus punchy colors and good viewing angles. VA technology used to suffer from poor pixel response. But the latest generation of panels is much improved. Consequently, ViewSonic reckons the VX2768-PC-MHD is good for 1 millisecond response times. The kicker, of course, and the key enabler of high frame rates is the 1920 by 1080 as opposed to 4K native resolution. It is a significant step down versus 4K when it comes to detail and sharpness. But 1080p is still 2 million pixels, and for fast-paced games, the improved response and buttery smooth frame rates are arguably more important than the pixel count. You don't get HDR support either. But then true HDR was never going to be available at this ultra-aggressive price point. In short, this monitor represents an awful lot of high refresh fun for the money and makes a neat, underrated PS5 monitor contender. Number 3. Samsung CRG5. On a tight budget? Don't panic. Because it's actually possible to bag a high-refresh 1080p monitor with a curved premium panel from one of the biggest brands in the business. And all for under $150/£150. We give you the Samsung CRG5 in 24-inch trim. The highlights start with a 24-inch curved VA panel. It's not HDR compliant. But thanks to the 3000:1 contrast, it's actually capable of more dynamic range than many monitors that claim HDR capabilities. It also sports an 1800 arc curve for added immersion. Predictably, at this price point, we're talking 1080p rather than 4K. But then if you want that super smooth high refresh experience, you're not going to get it at 4K. Likewise, at 24 inches this is hardly a huge or cinematic screen. But, once again, something has to give to hit this level of affordability. As a gaming-focused monitor, it has several additional gaming-friendly features including low input lag mode. If there is a catch, it's probably pixel response. Samsung quotes 4 milliseconds, which isn't too shabby. However, that's a gray to gray time and this is a VA panel, so expectations in terms of pixel speed probably need to be kept in check. Number 2. BenQ EW3270U. If you want premium 4K visuals at an affordable price, you could do a whole lot worse than the BenQ EW3270U. Okay, it's an older model and not a true HDR display even though it will process an HDR input. But thanks to its VA panel, it has fantastic 3000:1 static contrast and seriously punchy colors. Of course, at this price point, you're not going to get 120Hz support. Likewise, variable rate refresh is not on the menu. Oh, and VA panels are not the last word in pixel response either. If that makes the BenQ EW3270U sound like a bum choice, you do get all 3840 by 2160 pixels and really nice core image quality in a generous 32-inch package. At this price point, you'd normally expect to find 27-inch 4K monitors. Throw in a slim bezel design that looks far more expensive than it is and it's a very compelling overall package. Okay, it's a compromise, the EW3270U. It doesn't unlock all the PS5's capabilities, most notably that sweet, smooth 120Hz refresh. But something's got to give at this end of the market, and if 4K is a priority, the BenQ is well worth a look. Number 1. ASUS VP28UQG. The PS5 is capable of 4K and 120Hz. But the reality is that relatively few games will be capable of achieving both at the same time. That's doubly true of the latest and most graphically intensive games. You're not going to get close to 120Hz running at 4K. So, if you fancy 4K and can't stretch to a high refresh monitor, the ASUS VP28UQG could be just the thing. Priced around $240/£240, it's remarkably affordable for a 4K 28-inch panel. And thanks to an HDMI 2.0 interface, it's fully compatible with the PS5. ASUS has also included DisplayPort 1.2 connectivity, so this monitor will happily tag team with a PC, too. Along with no support for 120Hz refresh, HDR capability is also conspicuous by its absence. But, again, most so-called HDR monitors aren't truly capable of HDR visuals. Likewise, what does matter for many gamers is speed in terms of pixel response. Here the ASUS VP28UQG scores with its 1ms capable TN panel. Granted, TN tech isn't the best when it comes to colors, contrast, and viewing angles. But you'd be surprised just how close it now comes while maintaining an edge over IPS and VA technology for pure speed. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you liked this video and found some important information what you want.